Hey buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, thank you. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. So, a little bit of trouble with trigonometric equations, huh?
Yeah, I've been having a bit of a hard time with them, to be honest. So I just need a little bit of help.
No worries. It's a common one in A level that people don't particularly like. I remember struggling with them when I was doing A level. So, what I've pulled out is a couple of examples of
Okay.
probably the more horrible ones. So,
Yeah.
if you look at those ones, what do you think straight away? What's your
Um, Initially, like, oh God, I don't really want to do it, but
right?
I'm sure, like, once I know the right way to do it, it shouldn't be too much of a
Right.
problem.
So
So
that's what we're going to hopefully get to today, right? So we're going to go through as a sort of teaching example. We're going to go through together the first one there,
okay,
and then I'm going to get you to do the second one entirely by
okay,
yourself, and you're going to get the right answer, or
okay,
hopefully get the right answer. Yeah.
yeah,
So let's go on to the next page, and let's start with that horrible looking one at the start. So when we get a trigonometric equation like this, the first step that you need to do, so we'll write a list of steps, so we'll get a method of how we want
yeah,
to do this. Step one is to get the equation into a certain form. So get the equation into the form trig of u equals a number,
okay,
right? So in this
yeah,
case, we want to rearrange this to be trig of u equals a number. So in this case, how could we take what we have, which is 5 cos of 6x plus 20 plus 3 equals 7.25, and rearrange it into the format that we see there, which is a trigonometric function of u equals a number? What could we do?
So I think initially, if we take the three to the other side,
So let's take
it
the
leaves
3
with
to the
four
other
point
side.
two five.
Good, that's a good idea. So we'll get rid of the 3 straight away, right? And that gives us 4.25, as you correctly
Yeah,
say. Good. What can we do
and
now?
then and then I think maybe smart to divide. Yeah, take the five across. So divide by five again, or
Excellent.
not
So
again, but
we're,
say take the five across.
so we're starting to get somewhere now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've put minus 100. Looks like a minus. Plus 20. 6x.
Oh, that one is a minus. That one needs to be a minus.
That's why, because I made a small error at the start. So very
Yeah.
easily done. Yeah. So good
Yeah.
spot. Excellent. Shows you're paying attention. So minus 20, 6.25. And then as you correctly said, let's divide by 5. So 4.25 divided by 5. What does that come out as? Is 0.85, right? So we've got
Right.
0.85 on this side. And we're starting to get close to the form that we want. Trig of u equals a
Yeah.
number. So what can we do now, do you think, to get trig u equals a number?
So this is the part where I was having a bit of trouble. I wasn't really too sure about the next step.
Right.
So once you have the stuff in the brackets,
So to make
I wasn't too sure.
6x minus 20 become u, we can just call it u. So u
Okay.
equals 6x minus 20. We can
Okay.
just assume this, right? We can change the equation into something else that is easier
Right.
to solve. So what would we do now? What would the
So
equation be
you'd
now?
have cos of u
Correct?
equals 0.85.
Equals 0.85. And we're going to solve this equation. So this is the
Okay.
first step, right?
Yep.
And then at the end, we're going to go back to 6x
And
minus
sub
20.
it in again.
That's
Okay.
correct, right? But we're going to solve this format. So you've correctly got it into that form. And that's the first step. Now,
Okay.
the second step, so we'll just bring the equation back up on the previous page so we can see it. The second step is to deal with the ranges. Because what you've done is you've done a substitution, and the initial ranges, 0 to 180, were for x. But we've changed the
Yeah.
equation to be for u. So we've got cos of u is equal to 0.85. And the range for x was from 0 to x to 180. But we don't want the range for x anymore. We want the range for u.
Okay.
And we know that u is 6x minus 20. So what do you
Yes.
think the ranges are going to be now?
So I'm thinking if we add 20 onto 180 and then multiply that by 6
Ah,
to get
so we're going to multiply by 6, but then we're going to take away 20. So we're going to do exactly what u demands, right? So what will the
Okay.
0 become?
So 0 will be 20.
Will be minus 20.
Minus
It'll be
20, sorry.
6x minus
Yes.
20.
Okay, yeah, of course. Minus 20.
Good.
Yeah.
So what
And
will the
then
other one be?
A 180 off the top of my head would be
So
1,040.
yeah,
No,
we're gonna-
1,000.
We're going to times it by
1,020.
6, right? I don't mind if you can't get that off the top of your head. So 6 times 180, and then what will we do?
Minus the 20.
Minus the
So
20.
600, 480. So it's 1,060.
1,060 is correct. Good. So we got 1,060. So our new range has been set, right?
Okay.
So step 2 is to set the range for the substitution.
Okay.
So most of the time, you might just have x anyway in the bracket. So it might be just x in here, and you won't have to do this step. But if you have to do the substitution, then you have to do this step, right? So we set the range for substitution, right? Part 3, so let's rewrite our equation. We now have cos of u equals 0.85 between a range of minus 20, u, and 1,060, right?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Now we can, step 3, which is find the first solution. So, if you have a usual equation like this, how would you find u?
So u would be the cos to the minus 1
Correct.
of 0.85.
Good. Now what your calculator will do is it will give you the first solution in the cos graph, right?
Yeah.
So if you stick that into your calculator, do you have a calculator with you, or I can do it here?
I don't have a calculator on me handy at the moment.
That's fine. That's fine. Right. So if we do cos to the minus 1 of 0.85, and we set it equal, that will be 31.8 degrees. Right.
Okay.
So that's equal to 38.1 degrees. That's found us the first solution, right?
Okay.
But what do you know about a cos graph?
It's periodic over 180 degrees, so I guess.
That's right. It's going to be periodic. By the way, this is 31.8, not 38.1. So
Okay.
31.8.
Small typo. That's right.
Yeah, a little typo. Right, so 31.8 degrees. So you know that it's periodic, right? So we've got, for our first solution, u is equal to, let me check this, 31.8 degrees.
Yeah.
Equals 31.8 degrees. Now, what does the cos graph look like?
So
Between the range that we were interested in, which was minus 20 u to 1,060, was it?
yes.
So up to 1,060. What does the cos graph look like between those limits?
Between those limits, it's going to be just going to be a wave essentially.
Where does the cos graph start at 0? So if I was
zero,
to plot,
it starts at 1.
good. So if I was to plot cos u against u, yeah, as you correctly say, it's going to start at 1. What will it then do?
It drops down.
And crosses at where?
Crosses at 90.
Good. And
then it'll come back up at 180.
Good.
So it essentially crosses the axes every 90 degrees.
Good. So it's going to keep crossing, goes down, comes up. So we're going to get 270, 360.
Every 180 degrees. Sorry, it doesn't cross every 90. Crosses every 180.
Yes. So it does something interesting.
Yeah.
Every 90 degrees, right? So it goes down 90, 180, comes back up for 270, goes up for 360.
Back down for 540.
Back down for 450.
450, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So it's back up at 1 by 360, which makes sense because it's periodic. Back down for 540, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So we won't do all of it, but I'm just going to show you the first couple of solutions. Now, where does your first solution sit on this graph?
Well,
if you draw with your point,
it's going to be my okay to draw now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to sit about here.
Exactly. So here's the point, the solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what we can say is that all the other solutions for the graph are the ones that sit on
in
the
line
same,
with that.
That's exactly right? So that sit in line with that. So I'll just finish it, by the way, on the other side, because we're allowed to go down to minus 20. So I'll just put here, but we can only go to minus 20. Yeah?
Yep.
So any other line, any other place that the line cuts across the graph is also a solution. So the other solutions, I haven't drawn the whole thing, but two more solutions will be here and here, and that will continue off to the right for the extra solution. So we can use the cast diagram, which we looked at in a previous lesson, or we can use the periodicity of the cos function to find the other solutions. So let's talk about these other solutions. So
it couldn't be the one. I know it's symmetrical about
good,
the origin.
Excellent.
But it couldn't be the one on the other side because it's out of the range, right?
Well
so that
done.
would be minus 31.8.
Super. So that would be minus 31.8. So there's nothing out here. So we can only deal with
range.
Excellent. So we only have to deal with positive solutions. Excellent.
Okay.
Right. So we've got u equals 31.8 degrees, which is here. 31.8. And the second one is here, and let's call it 2. And the third one is here. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. What's the easy way to find number 3?
So to find number 3 is add 360 on from number 1.
Excellent. So we use the periodicity of the cos, and we see that it's coming down just as number 1 is coming down, right?
Yeah.
So adding 360 will give us a solution of 391.8 degrees. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the more, well, not difficult one, but the trickier one is number 2. So what will number 2 be? So again, use the same logic that you just used.
So if we went from the one in the negative side
and
add 360 from there.
Super. So because it's symmetric, we can go from minus 31.8 and we can add 360, which is the same as doing 360 minus 31.8. Yeah? Happy with that?
Yep. Yep.
So 360 minus 31.8 is going to be
329.2.
328.2, is it?
328.2, yeah, of course. Sorry.
It's all right. No need to apologise. 328.2. So those are our first 3 solutions. And if we were doing this super seriously in an exam, we would keep going until we hit the range of 1060, because there's more solutions out here. But I just want to show you how we've done this, right? So step 4 is to find... Step 4 is to find the additional solutions.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
So we find the additional solutions. And for that, we use the periodicity of the cos or sine or tan graph, whatever we're dealing with, or the cast diagram that we looked at last time. So let's go over the page and think about the final part, the final step. So we found solutions for this equation that tell us that u is equal to these numbers. But what's the problem with that when we look back at the original question that we had? Did it ask us to solve?
We want it in terms of x and not u.
Brilliant, right? So the final step, I think we're up to step number 5, are we now? Yeah, step number 5 is to correct back. As we said at the start, we're going to have to correct back at some time. So step 5 is to convert back from u to x. And we were told, or we used the substitution, that 6x minus 20 equals u. So what will x be?
So x is going to be u plus 20.
Good.
Divided by 6.
Divided by 6. And what we do now, or well, what do you think we do now?
So we're going to have our set of solutions for u.
Good.
I'm guessing we just plug u into that equation and we get all of our x solutions.
Exactly right. So we're going to plug these into here. So we're going to get 31.8 plus 20 all divided by 6, which is equal to something. 31.8 plus 20 divided by 6, 328, excuse me. So 328.2 plus 20 divided by 6. and 391.8 plus 20 divided by 6. So let's bang those into a calculator and let's see what we get. 31. Let's get rid of that. Oh, I need to delete here. I'm trying to delete the answer on Desmos rather than the equation. 31.8 plus 20. Bracket all that up and divide by 6, and we get 8.6 degrees. So the first one for x will be 8.6 degrees. We plug in the next one, which is 328.2. So 328.2, we get 58 degrees. 58 degrees. And then we've got 391.8 plus 20 divided by 6 will be 68.6. 68.6. What? 68.6. Dot in there for some reason. 68.6 degrees. So these are our first three solutions. And as I said, we would have kept going if we were super serious about doing this in an exam situation. But let's take our answers from the start, and hopefully we will see that these overlap nicely with the answers to this question. So here are the solutions that we were hoping to get.
There we are.
And are they correct?
8.
Fingers
6,
crossed.
58, 68.6. Yeah.
68.6.
Nice.
And we would keep going. So we have to go through those steps. Let's just outline them very quickly because you're going to use them now. First of all, we get our equation into the form trig of u equals a number. Yeah?
Yeah.
By rearranging, as you correctly did, and using the correct substitution. We set the range based on the substitution by simply doing to the values of the range, the end, the top and bottom, exactly what we do to x, or the substitution that we use. We find the first solution, then we go looking for the additional solutions, and then we convert back.
Okay.
Happy with how we did that?
Yep. That sounds good. Yep.
So it's not too awful, right?
It's a very step-by-step process. When you outline it as a step-by-step sort of thing,
right.
it makes it a lot more clear. So.
And when you start doing this for yourself and just going through that step-by-step process, it'll become second nature to you, right?
Yeah.
So that's the idea. So I want you, before you go, to go through one of these for yourself. So we've got sine 2x equals root 3 over 2 between a range of x from 0 to 360 degrees.
Okay.
So what was step number 1?
So step 1, we want to get sine of... Oh.
Yep, you go. It's all right. I'll get rid of that. Let me get rid of that, and then you can write.
Okay.
So write. Yep.
We'll go 1 there, and then we'll go sine of u to equal some number.
Right.
So I think we're gonna...
What we're gonna use for u here?
So I think we sub in u to equal 2x here.
Super.
Which gives us sine of u.
Yeah.
And then...
And what is root 3 over 2?
Root 3 over 2 is... Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Well, does it have x in it, or is it just a...
It doesn't have x. It's just a number.
So it's just a number. So we're happy, right?
So
we're perfectly happy.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. So first step, exactly correct. Right? Well done. What's the step 2?
Step 2 is to change our limits that we're looking at.
Excellent.
So 0 times 2 is just 0. So it's going to be 0.
Good.
Between 0, u, and 360 times 2 is 720.
Super.
So we're going to be looking between 0 and 720 here.
Boom. Easy. Right? So that's the first 2 steps done. Really nice. Yeah. Very, very good. Right? What's step 3?
So step 3, we're going to be doing sine to the minus 1 of root 3 over 2 to get our first solution.
Right, exactly right. And we can take these special values, of sine that we've looked at this before, but I won't make you recall it immediately now. But you remember the special triangles to pull out these values of sine. I'll put it up.
I think this one is 30 degrees, if I can remember right.
If you remember rightly, it is 60, unfortunately, but you were close.
60,
right?
Oh, well.
It's all right. But yes, it's going to be 30, 45, 60, or 90, or 0, right? In this case, it's going to be 45 or 60. So root 3 over 2. So what's our first solution?
So our first solution here will be 60 degrees.
So u equals 60 degrees is our first solution. Good. Well done.
Yep.
Right? If you got stuck and you couldn't remember, you can always stick it in your calculator anyway. Right? If you can't remember this table. Right? Or the special triangles. But I hope you can, because we did them last lesson. Right? Yep. Now, question 4, or step 4, excuse me. What's step 4? So you're doing really well so far.
Step 4, I like to draw the graph. So we find the other solution. So
you know you can do straight lines, right? So if you click on the bottom, the pen
ruler.
Yeah, the little ruler above the pen, you can draw a straight line.
Oh, here we go. So there we go. And then click on the pen again, or the ruler.
And then click the ruler off and it'll turn it off.
Okay. So sine is going to start here at 0.
Good.
360, 720.
Good. And what does it do in between those points?
So it's going to go up.
Good. We don't need to be too... It doesn't need to be a Picasso painting, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right?
I'll let you finish it off then.
All right, okay, I'll finish it off then, right? So what's the value here?
So that's going to be 180.
Yeah, my drawing is worse than yours was then, so... Right? 270, and it comes back up to 360.
Up to 360,
right?
yeah.
Right? 270 up to 360, and then what's it going to do now?
It goes up, peaks again at 540. I want to say 540. Yeah, 540, and then no, peaks again at 450. Sorry,
you like missing that one out. So 450.
At 450. Yeah, and then 540. Sorry, and then
630 and 720. Right,
and then 720. Yeah,
good. Right, so we've got our cos graph. We could by we I mean I could have drawn it a bit more neatly, but fine. So where is our first solution in this case?
So our solution is going to be about here.
Good. So it's round here. At 60 degrees, yeah? So if I take a different colour...
I think there we go. Oh, I've highlighted it, whatever.
Good. So where will the other solution sit, roughly?
So we're going to have one here.
Good.
One here.
Good.
And one here.
Good. So if I draw a line through, it's anything that sits on the same line, yeah?
Yeah.
So we've got 4 solutions within our range, yeah? So we know we're going to come up with 4 answers. Now, we have one of our answers, which is u equals 60 degrees.
Yeah.
Let's start with, so let's label them 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Which one's going to be super easy to find straight away?
So super easy is number 3.
Good.
Because you just add 360 on.
Good. So what will that be?
360 plus 60 is 420.
Good. So we've got 420 degrees. And now what will number 2 be? We've got nicer numbers this time, so it's a little bit easier.
This is also something I had a problem with as well, is my sine graphs. So
the sine graph here, where will it be symmetric about?
So that's going to be about symmetric about 90. So I guess if we do 90 minus 60, and we get 30.
Good.
And then add the difference on.
Good.
So it'll be 90 plus 30 in this case.
Which is?
Which is going to be 120.
Good. And once we've got one that's going up and one that's coming down, we can get number 4 by doing what?
Yeah, by adding 360.
By adding 360 because it looks the same. So what will number 4 be?
So number 4 will be 360 plus 120, which is 480.
480 degrees. So we now have our 4 solutions, right? Which are 60, 120, 420, and 480. Yeah? 120 and 4. And in this case, because we were doing it fully and we went over the full range, we have
These are the only solutions.
Correct. These are the only solutions we could possibly have. Now, what's our final step?
So step 5. Oh, don't want to be doing that.
Very artistic now.
I've lost it. Pen. There we go.
It's all right. We can go back and get rid of that.
Is that going to work? No, I can't. No, I've lost it. I can tell you what to do. I don't know how to. I don't know how to get back up.
I think if you go to the color palette, you should be able to turn that back
color
off.
palette.
I think you've
pen, highlighter. I'm stuck on it. Highlight color, pen color. Here we go.
You got
it. Take that off. No, I have no idea. Right, I'll just say.
Don't worry if you're stuck.
So we're gonna have. We want to get this back in terms of x.
Good.
And our u was 2x. I think if I remember properly, rightly.
Good.
So
Correct.
u is 2x. So all we want to do there is just u divided by 2 to get our
X equals
solutions.
u divided by 2. Correct. And we're going to sub in our 4 solutions. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to get x is equal to 60 over 2. X is equal to 120 over 2. X is equal to 420 over 2. And x equals 480 over 2. Happy with that?
Yeah.
So what are our answers?
So we got 30.
Good.
60. 210.
Good.
And 240.
240 degrees. Now, let's see if that, fingers crossed, lines up with the answers that come from our.
Perfect.
Right, good. So you've just done one that you thought was pretty scary at the start, and it's incredibly easy when you just take it step by step and realize what you're doing, right? You solve the equation with the substitution, which is just, a simple sign solution. So your first one is just sine to the -1 or cos to the -1, and then you use the periodicity of the trigonometric function to get the other solutions, and then you just convert back. So if you try and do it without the conversion, it's difficult, but when you put the conversion in, it becomes very, very simple, very, very robotic and formulaic. So how do you feel about those now after we went through that?
I feel a lot more confident about that.
Right.
I am able to refer back to this, aren't I? I can save the tutor whiteboard, so I can.
So what I can do and what I will do is I will save this. Save. I'll create a PDF.
Yeah.
So we'll call it trig functions or trig equations. Excuse me, trig equations, and then I'll be able to send this. Just get it up. So it produces a nice little PDF that you can scroll through and see exactly what we've done.
Yeah, it's just so I can refer back to it, that's all.
Yeah, so you'll get a perfect copy of all this in a nice little PDF note packet that then you can go through. And also what I'll do is I'll send you a few examples, 2 or 3 examples for you to work through. Make sure you've got everything down. And if you hit any problems, just send me an email, give me a call, and I'll get on and help you or do some work solutions for you. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Thank you very much.
All right, perfect. Yeah. So when's your exam coming up on this? Or have they sort of called it off for now?
This one's this one's not going ahead, so
we'll play it by ear, but let's get this down because we're going to have to understand it next year anyway. So I'll send you those 3 questions to do. If you do them as quickly as possible, and then we'll go through them at the start of next week's lesson.
Yeah. Okay.
How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Awesome. Have a good week. Doing anything exciting this weekend?
Absolutely not. No. It's just lockdown things, really, isn't it?
Lockdown, just taking it easy. Play a bit of COD or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll be able to jump on and we can play a game or two. I won't be good.
Show you what's what on COD.
Yeah, you're gonna be carrying me hard. I think it's gonna be Fortnite all over again. Getting old. Right. Good job. I will talk to you next week, if not before.
Next week,
do those questions. I'll send them through this afternoon, and
will do.
Yeah, think you'll be good.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. Take it easy, buddy.
See you later.
Bye.